Excuse me. Pardon me.
Hey, sit down.
Hey guys, it's been a while. This week I wanted to talk about my review of the Raid 2 Berandal. Since the last time I did one of these videos, I've been promoted to reviews editor of Flixist, and in my capacity as reviews editor, I made some slight tweaks to what the various scores on the site mean. Yesterday I posted my review of the Raid 2 Berandal, which I saw last week, and it is the highest score I've ever given, and also the longest review of a film I've ever written, and also the longest review ever put on Flixist. It pushes past 2,100 words, it's long, but I also called it the best action film ever made, so I felt it deserved time and space. And I also felt it deserved the score that I gave it, and I gave it a 97 out of 100. Now, on Flixist, 95 to 99 is an extremely personal score. It needs to literally change the way you think about movies. If you go into a film one way, and you come out a different way, like your mind has been opened radically, you see this new side of cinema, maybe you saw a 95. Not necessarily, but maybe. The Raid 2 just blew my mind. From start to finish, on every level, and you can read the review. I got an email from a friend saying he had some quibbles with the fact that I gave it such a high score, but also said that the narrative was only reasonably interesting. Why does a film that has some aspect that is fine become the top, when there are other films that I think are essentially flawless that haven't been that high? And the reason for that is because of the way it changed my perception of action. The Raid, the original film, did a lot to sort of change my perception of action. But I didn't feel like I was in a new world. I felt like, that was amazing, that was so cool, I need to see it again, I love it, and if I were to score it, I would have scored it between a 90 and a 94, which means an instant classic that will go down as one of the best films we've ever seen. Which I would agree. I love that film. And the Raid 2 is just better in every way. But not only that, but the scale is just unprecedented. The fights are unlike anything I've ever seen, and honestly, unlike anything that has ever been seen. That big, massive brawl in the prison, I don't think that there has ever been a sequence quite like that. And I don't think there could have been. What Berandal does is it creates this new era. We are in a post-Berandal era now. Action filmmaking can never be the same. And the reason it can never be the same is because everyone will look at Berandal and see, well, why didn't you make something as good as that? Because I'd rather just watch Berandal's fight scenes again than watch something else that's new and less good. The bar has been raised really high. And so even if the narrative is fine, the fact that the action is so far beyond just anything, that means it earns the score that it got. It's an incredible film. There was a point where I was considering giving it a 100. We've had 100 on Flixist, and that's for Gravity. And we had a big internal discussion about that, and we actually always have internal discussions if a score is going to get above an 89. 90s and above, because of what they mean, we talk about them. If a writer wants to give a film a 90, he talks to me about it, and he talks to Matt, our editor-in-chief, about it. And we discuss, does this film really deserve a 90? Do you really think that this is one of the best films you've ever seen, and that it will stay one of the best films you've ever seen? We talk about that. And I talked with Matt and Nick, our news editor, about my own 97. I sent them the review. I said, do you think that this fits the criteria that I have laid out in my reviews guide and what I believe that score means? And they said yes. I considered giving it a 100 for exactly the reasons I said. What a 100 at Flixist means is it is among the best and most influential movies ever made. And I believe that the Raid 2 will be influential. But I don't really like the 100. To claim that a film is influential, for me, is kind of weird. I can understand why Matt, who reviewed Gravity, gave it a 100. And while sort of objectively I would have given the film a great score, I thought it was great, I could have been talked up to a 95 based on the technical prowess alone. That film is a technical marvel. I can understand that logic. And with the 100, we had a discussion. If anyone thinks the movie is less than great, it can't get a 100. Everyone on staff has to agree that the film matters to some extent. Not to that same extent, but to some extent. And that's why that film got a 100. Since no one else had seen The Raid 2, it's not out yet, it has only played at Sundance, I also felt somewhat uncomfortable because that conversation couldn't happen. It was just me talking about it with me. I wanted to be able to talk to everybody, and I wanted to get their feedback on whether they think this film really matters as much as I think it does. And I hope it does. And I'm really excited for other people to see it and understand why I gave it the score I did. And I think a lot of people will agree that this really is the new pinnacle of action films. I hope you enjoyed the video. It's been a while. I actually recorded several of these, but I thought they were terrible and didn't post them. So hopefully this one is less terrible. If you liked it, like it on our YouTube channel and subscribe. You know, with this we also have Michael Jordan doing Movie Mondays. He's pretty awesome. We also have the question that we do every week. And with this one, where hopefully I will be going back to doing one of these every week, we'll have 3 video shows every week, so you should, definitely check it all out. So yeah, thanks guys.